Ah, friggin' rights, boys. It's Monday here on Vloggin' Life. You already know that. You saw the intro. Frig sakes. We got darts in the mail. Darts in the mail. Oh my fucking god, I love darts in the mail. Totally sold that from Pug, but whatever. Starts in the mail. I ordered from Can Vape to get some stuff to make more juice, some more nicotine, and a new device to use with the Nautilus. Let's take a look. So we got a great big bottle of nicotine. That's good. Need that kind. I don't know why, but the label, written by pen, but it's sweet strawberry. I bought 2 sweet strawberries, a marshmallow, which I need, and the cake crust. Basically these 3 ingredients, that's how you make your strawberry cheesecake. I'm going to be making some for Bloke there and sending it back down to him. And we got some Energy Cow, which I've been, or Monster Energy, which I like. And yeah, so we can make Monster Energy drink. Strawberry cheesecake! Freak steaks. Also ordered some replacement cartridges for my friggin' Nautilus because I ran out. I think I left my pack at Bloke's, to be honest with you. I think I brought them down there. That was the last time I changed the coil and last time I really used the Nautilus. So yeah, mainly because I didn't have a device to use it on. Like I noticed Bloke's been using his on his blue version of this one here, the blue one that I gave him. My big problem with this thing here is it doesn't read the resistance right. It's always about 0.2 to 0.3 ohms off. For frig sakes, don't even clean it. I found that with the coils, when you hook the Nautilus at this thing here, at 7 watts, it's still putting out 4.2 volts right to the coil because it's misreading everything. So I didn't really like using this one here with the Nautilus. But anyway, let's take a look at what I bought for the Nautilus. Well, this is literally all I got was the actual E-leaf, the eye stick, and the attachment to allow for, because it's just a 510 connector, so they give you the Ego to 510. But this is what pisses me off is, this is what it should have came with, is the iStick 2200 mAh battery, which that's what this is. The Ego adapter, the wall plug charger, the manual, and the USB cable. I did not get a manual, I did not get a wall plug charger or a USB cable charger. So that's pretty upsetting, Can Vape. You're fucking stealing parts out of people's packages, you know. I've heard reports of other people ordering these things and not getting the charge cable even though it's listed right on the site. And that's really upsetting. I know it's only a $1.99 charge cable, but I had another incident with another shop down south where you go in, you buy an atomizer for like $40 or $20, and then they expect you to buy the drip tip that should have came with it for an extra $6, you know. It's like it's shit like this that's going to get brick and mortar shops shut down. When you're fucking dwelling with your customers and you're not giving them the full package listed, especially when you have it written on your website. Like, come on, guys. A fucking USB to AC adapter is like, what, $2 at the buck store, and a cable is about $2. So, congratulations, you just ripped off a package for $4. Hopefully you can afford your bread at the end of the day. Like, what the flying fuck, man? That's rude. But anyway, I want to bang out some juice and get my naughty Nautilus up and running. I gotta clean that out and throw a new coil into it. First, I gotta find it. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, this is funny. You know, El Darte with the dripper. Not a bad size. Hell, even the Nintendo controller doesn't look too bad, right? And then you have the iStick, where the atomizer is bigger than the actual device. I'll be doing a review on this on the tech channel, if anybody's wondering about it. But the reason why I got it was for the Nautilus, but look at the gap. Yeah, it doesn't really screw all the way down. But I got it for the Nautilus because I had nothing for the Nautilus. The MVP fucking exploded, so it's shot. And like I said, I put it up on the Hana, and the Hana would just blow coils like crazy. I didn't like it on the Nintendo controller because it didn't sit right. Then again, it doesn't sit right on this. And what I like about this is it goes under 7 watts. It'll do, what, 5 to 20 watts? Yeah, it does 5 to 20 watts up to 5.5 volts, I think it is. And you can switch. Well, you know what? You'll see that all in the review for the tech channel. I don't really want to talk too much about it on the vlogs. I just think it's pretty cool, and I don't know, it gives you a good chooch. Pretty good stealth stick for, like, you know, if you had a butterball. Remember that thing that Pug 1 used to use to smoke hash? It's so small. Like, here, let me just compare it to the compare it to the Nintendo. Actually, no, I still have the body for my MVP. Just so anybody with an MVP out there gets an idea as how small this stupid thing is. The MVP does 11 watts. This does 20. Yup. The MVP has a 2600 mAh battery. The iStick has a 2200 mAh battery. LiPo. Just like the old dirty friggin' Nintendo controller. Better laying down like that so it doesn't drip. Right on. Now here's hoping that the friggin' Naughty Nautilus doesn't go through a coil every other day. Because, man, having it up on the Hannah, that's what was happening. That's expensive. Friggin' 15 bucks for 5 coils? That's fucking robbery. Oh yeah! Those are the headlines you love to read about. Second local cop charged with impair in the last week. Apparently 2 weeks ago, a cop, I don't know if he was off duty or what, but he was involved in a hit and run, smashed into a parked car on the side of the road, and sure as shit, ran from the scene, but he was caught by a neighbor, and the neighbor called it in, and the cop was charged. One of the North Bay police officers was dicked over like a couple weeks ago, and, or last week, could have been last week, I don't know, I've lost track of time, but I remember seeing this before, and now we got another cop who's being a dick and drinking and driving, so, Jesus Christ, you know. So what, the cops can just ignore the law? Nope, obviously not. Busted! Especially not when everybody's got a cell phone with a camera. And I think it was Pug's old lady on her Facebook, she posted a video of just cops being belligerent, you know? Like, they got a bunch of people lined up, they're arresting them, and the people are like, you know, they're following through, like they're on their knees, got their hands behind their head and shit. And all of a sudden the cops have they just come out of nowhere and just start laying the beats to the guys, like busting out their friggin' nightsticks and just totally cracking skulls. It's like, what the fuck, man? Everybody's like listening, like you told them. On your knees, nobody move. Everybody's on their knees, nobody's moving. All of a sudden the cops just start kicking the shit out of the guy. And the problem is, you know, everybody's got one of these. And on one of these, it's got one of those. And they can record video. So everybody, when they see police brutality, first thing to do is bust out their phone and start fucking streaming right to YouTube. Film the thing, put it up on YouTube, really son of a bitch the cop. So you'd think that now that 90% of the people have smartphones with the ability to record video, cops will smarten up and not be dinks. And you know, a lot of my friends, like, well, Adrian and Pug and Bloke and all of us, we all have cameras in our cars that record video on the road. And there's other people who have road video cameras for security purposes. Some people said they help with your insurance rates, but I don't know how. I don't think that applies here in Canada. Maybe in the USA, but in Canada, having a DVR in your car doesn't help your insurance at all. But, you know, a lot of people roll with DVRs in their car, recording everything that happens on the road in case they get into a fender bender. Then they got some video surveillance to say, you know what, I wasn't at fault. And if you watch this here part of the video, you'll see where buddy totally cut me off and wrecked my shit. You know, that's why a lot of people are rolling with them. That, and you catch some pretty crazy awesome stuff on the roads too. Like, you never know, you could catch an accident on the road, and that video could be how that accident gets determined and stuff. Or you could just say fuck it, not have one, and you know, that's also your option. But you know, with all the cameras out there, you'd think cops would be a little bit more fucking careful with the way they pull their shit off, maybe a little bit. But, well, it is what it is. I guess they're right. Power does corrupt. Alrighty, well, it's that time where I gotta go off to work and get my shift over with. But I only have 2 weeks left of work left, and then I'm done for the rest of the year. So that's always a good thing. Gotta love being done for the rest of the... Would you just stay closed? Of course, I forgot to grab my new dart. That's the one I wanted to use today. Basically to see how the battery works on it, and how long it lasts, and all that nonsense. A lot of the bigger vapors on YouTube, like freaking Vaping with Twisted and that, said that this is an all-day vape. Mind you, I haven't even put a charge onto it. It came to me fully charged, probably with the USB cable it was supposed to come with, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna head her outside and jump in the car. We're gonna go to work. Oh, frig sakes, it's hard to believe that Christmas is almost here, eh, people? Feels like just yesterday Adrian and I were out beating the shit out of the mini bikes in the trails. Yeah, I don't know why, but time is flying really fast. Really, really fast. So I'm pretty sure I just found my new favorite dart. This Nautilus, even though it looks stupid on top of the iStick, is quite possibly the greatest tasting friggin' vape I've had in a while. A lot of people were like, oh Adam, you need to get the Atlantis, you need to get the Atlantis. Holy shit, the Atlantis is a sub-ohm tank, people. Like, I think that's why Bloke's running his on the mech mod, because he doesn't have anything that can hit below 1 ohm. And like the Hannah mod, the DNA 20 can only go down to 1 ohm. Apparently this iStick can go down to 0.8, but I'm not really really willing to stress the battery. I actually want this one to last, and I question if that's the reason why my MVP died, is because I discovered you could sub-ohm it down to 0.7. Well, mine anyway, I could sub-ohm it down to 0.7, and the stupid little thing would take it. Fuck, she got hot though. Oh my goodness, did that battery ever get hot doing that? You know, if I probably would have respected the thing and kept her out of the sub-ohms and kept her up into the positive ohms and all that, she probably would have lasted a little bit longer and probably wouldn't have had so many problems. So I really got to blame the MVP on my fault, like big times. Freaking at work, my boss ended up buying a truck. You know, here we are, a lot of us are getting released and fired and all that, and he goes out and buys himself a brand new Dodge Ram. And then sure enough, we're talking about trucks and things, and he's like, oh, why don't you buy a Dodge? And I'm like, well, here's the problem, you know? And there's problems no matter what you buy. You know, you buy a Dodge, and I found, now this could be different now, but I forgot about two other Dodge cars that I drove that felt really weird. One was a 2006 Dodge Charger with the 5.7 liter MDS Hemi. At least that's what Buddy told me it was. Probably wrong, but it had the 5.7 liter Hemi. I popped the hood and there was a V8 under the hood, so that was all right. And I drove a Dodge, or a Chrysler 300, which, you know, Dodge 300, whatever, fuck, same company. And it had the 3.5 liter high output. And in both vehicles, both me and the ex said, like, driving it was somewhat difficult. It was like almost like playing a video game. Like right now I turn my wheel and there's a bit of resistance, right? It's not like butter loosey juicy friggin' fancy free mode steering like old power steering on a 1980 something 1970 something Chrysler New Yorker. Like the steering on, that's what those steering on the 300 and the Charger and the Ram, the 2006 Ram I took out even for a test drive back in the day of buying this thing. You know, all those vehicles that I took out for a rip, all the Dodges had the same kind of steering. It felt really loosey-juicy. Kind of like it was just a wheel getting a number and sending it to a steering box to turn the wheels that much. So I didn't really enjoy the steering on it. Now my boss says his truck's not like that, but I was just joking around with him, eh? And he's like, oh, if you're gonna buy a new vehicle, you should buy yourself a Dodge Ram. And I'm like, yeah, but I like transmissions that stay in the vehicle and ball joints that don't kick your tires off. And he's just like, what in the frig? He goes, well, then buy a Ford. And I'm like, yeah, I like front ends that stay together. And then he's like, well, then why don't you buy a Chevy? And I'm like, yeah, because, you know, I really don't like trucks that got to spend more time in the shop getting brand new parts replaced because they frigged up. So it's like, who do you go with? They all suck. People are saying, well, go with Toyota, go with Honda. Well, they're even having their own problems. You guys remember the Toyota Tacoma issue? All their frames are made out of shitty material, so they all just basically sucked. So like, and Honda, like they have a pickup truck, the Honda Ridgeline, for fuck's sakes. That thing's just ridiculous. I had a buddy who had one, like there's no subframe on it, and like it's not like built like a truck where it's built on a frame. It's built on this like honeycomb nonsense. So frig that, you know, frig that rating its frigger. Oh yeah, loving the Nautilus on this iStick. This is a great setup. I've been using it since I got it at around 2 o'clock and just been friggin' just darting on it. Some strawberry cheese vape. Yum, yum, yummy. Even though that the government wants to ban, oh man, if they do what they want to do, they're gonna fuck over vape shops. They want to ban flavored vape. They want to ban vaping indoors, even in a vape shop where, you know, you go in there and you don't know the flavors. There's like 15 million flavors of juice. So you kind of want to taste it to see if your taste buds are going to like it or not. You know, that's one of the bonuses of vaping over smoking. Smoking, you only have one flavor. Gross. With vaping, you have multiple flavors of good. So it's like they want to ban it because, oh, kids want to use it. Well, if you put the ban of 19 or over and you catch anybody who doesn't look 19 vaping, you card them in public and then you fine them if you have to. If that's the way you want to go, you fine any minors vaping in public because they're not supposed to be doing that kind. But no. Government has to fuck it over for everybody. So soon e-juice, if it's still a thing, unless they ban e-cigarettes and make it, you know, contraband like heroin, it's going to be ridiculous to basically have a vape. Like it's going to be like vegetable glycerin. That's it. Your vape is going to taste like chalk, you know? and zero fucks given from Gov. Yeah, I don't know. The government's not thinking. What they're thinking is they ban vape. Everybody who's vaping will just go back to buying cigarettes and start smoking again. Well, honestly, if they ban vape, I would just do like Pug 1 and just quit. Quit vaping, quit smoking, quit everything, and be done with it all. But right now I like vaping. I'm not really addicted to it. I just love the taste. I can go a while. Frig, last night I played freaking Bully for like 3 hours and didn't even have a chooch while I was playing Bully. Like, I can go a long time without having a dart because I'm no longer addicted to the nicotine. The people I feel bad for are the people who are just deciding to switch over to vaping to get off the friggin' darts so that they can have a longer living life. And I just ran like 2 fucking ambers back to back. Jesus Christ. But you know, it's people who just quit smoking to go to vaping to try and get off the darts, and it starts working for them, and they're on the high milligram shit. Well, if all of a sudden that stops and they can no longer buy e-juice, well, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to quit vaping and go back to smoking. Like, congratulations, Canada, you're enforcing people killing themselves. Hey, honk if you're horny. Honk if you're horny again. I don't think that Ursula realized I was going straight. But, yeah. So it turns out that the vape store in North Bay, well, it was closed, but he decided he wants to reopen it because there was too many inquiries from happy customers in town who were actually buying juice and buying products and stuff. So he's going to be reopening the vape store in North Bay, which is awesome, and he's going to run it, which is even awesomer. So yeah, probably going to end up going into the vape store sometime this week and just see what the frig's really going on. Oh, but I really am a big fan of this new setup. This thing's brilliant. I love the price of this stupid iStick. It's only like, it's a $40 mod. It's cheaper than the MVP and puts out a lot more than the MVP, and it's just cuter than the MVP. And it just gives you one, you know? It just gives you one. Like, I'm a big fan of the Nautilus tank. I still say it's probably one of the best tanks out there. Yeah, the Atlantis is a good tank, but fuck, sub-ohm? Like, really? That means you gotta run on a mech mod or like my 50-watt box mod, or you can't just stab her on any old ego pen and go, like, she'll explode. So, I don't know. I think the Nautilus is the best tank for beginners. Atlantis for people who really want to blow the clouds and can afford to buy a device dedicated for it, because you need a mech, like I said, you need a mech mod or something that can do 0.5 ohms, like a Hanna DNA 30 or DNA 40 or an IPv2, IPv3. You need a box that can do it. This box will never run an Atlantis, but a Nautilus, all fucking day long, baby, all day long. And I've been chooching on this pretty hard at 10 watts, and I still got full power to the battery. So that's a pretty good sign. This battery might accidentally last a little longer than the other ones. Fuck yeah. But anyway, people, expect this year to be in a vape review on Northern Tech if you're really curious about it. I'll show you all the ins and outs, and there's not much to it, but regardless, it's pretty freaking awesome for what it is, and the price and that, great replacement for the MVP, and keep on chooching. But anyway, people, I'm going to shut her down here, so thanks for watching my video. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, click the like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, stow them down below. And until next time, people, keep on vlogging.